You hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. All right. So I think we'll use the YouTube one, how to promote your YouTube videos. Now I'm realizing after I met with Alex that we really should have probably figured out the primary text and the headlines first. So, but still good practice. So there's basically like four things that I would ask yourself when you're creating these Facebook ads. What is this? Oh, this is probably the one that we were working on with Alex. Yeah, okay. So always pick traffic. Let me turn on screen or remote control. All right. So first things first, turn on dynamic creative. Second thing, set your daily budget, reduce your daily budget, otherwise you'll have a rude awakening. Change your location if need be. So we're just going to target Seattle, plus 25, and Tacoma, plus 25. Then in here, second thing you always want to check is detailed targeting expansion. It's those two pieces that are essentially the algorithm and machine learning pieces, where the ad will just get more efficient over time. So in here, we're going to be talking about YouTube. So let's go ahead, find YouTube. You're not going to want to target employers or job titles or schools. You're almost exclusively going to want to target interests. The categories are separate, and when your ad gets, when it's going through the process of figuring out where to serve your ad, these just have much smaller audiences in general. And they're just treated differently. Like if you're going to target employers, your posts are going to be scrutinized much more. Same with job titles, same with schools. Pretty much anything but interests gets scrutinized pretty heavily. So I will normally pick the one with the highest audience, or get as specific as possible. If you're picking the one with the largest audience, the suggestions works better, and you won't have to pick as many. If you're get more targeted, I think getting more targeted is something you'll usually probably want to do after you've created the ad, because you might kind of come to certain conclusions while creating the ad. That helps with making the audience more targeted. I sometimes run 2 to 4 campaigns, 2 campaigns that target different audiences, a wide audience and a targeted audience. And then you can also separate your campaigns based off of messaging, which we'll see in a moment. It's something I kind of realized with Alex I'd forgotten about. And then also videos and pictures get served differently. So, and you can't mix and match. You can't have images and videos in the same campaign. So if you want to reach double the size of the audience, you're going to want to have two campaigns, one with pictures, one with video. For the most part, I'm not a big social media guy, and our Facebook page, you know, I think we've all kind of taken a back seat to it. You know, CoSchedule has been really responsible for that. And so for now, we'll just stick with video for training purposes as well. So I'm going to hit YouTube. Oh yeah, and going back to the questions, this is something I recommend you do with every Facebook ad, and you really do with online marketing in general, but you ask yourself 4 questions. Who is your target audience? We're going to be targeting small business for now. Business owners in general, but more specifically small businesses, because they're much more likely to need our services. And there's a couple statistics that really kind of paint that picture. I was in the process of working on Alex's stuff, just kind of, you know, we made a Facebook ad targeting Instagram, and Instagram. So for his ad, who were you targeting? Still the same thing, small businesses. Number 2, what is the goal? You know, why should the audience care? And that is to boost SEO, right? Or to boost Instagram visibility, which will then boost SEO. So number 3 is how does your service, or how are you going to help address the issue or address the goal? You know, move your target audience towards said goal. And so for Instagram is very mobile friendly. And let me just bring up his ad. Actually, it'll kind of help. You know, I'm gonna have to return to this. So in here, I'm gonna put in the URL. This is something I realized also, and I really should have told you guys that we want to create Facebook ads, not necessarily for our blog posts, but more for our dedicated service pages and like landing page types in general, right? You want, when someone lands on your website, you want them to take some kind of action. You want to convert them in some way, whether that's educating them, whether that's getting them to contact us via phone or email, etc. Landing pages and pages that are specifically designed to, you know, because again, people that are coming from Facebook have short attention spans. They're normally, you know, those pages need to usually be designed differently from just a blog post. But this one, they, you know, for Alex, he did 3 different blog posts, and really only one of them made any sense for Facebook ads, and that's the Instagram one. For you, you did the YouTube one, which is perfect because, you know, YouTube is essentially my bread and butter. YouTube ads are the #1 thing. If a business owner out there isn't using YouTube ads right now, they should hire me, basically. So I'm gonna take the video page of our website, put it into the ad, and then I'm gonna show you Alex's. Okay. So we ended up coming to the conclusion, you know, how does Instagram help you boost your SEO, which you can also be explained as getting traffic to your website. And they do it because there's a bunch of reasons, but when we were doing our research, the main ones are that Facebook owns Instagram in the same way that Google owns YouTube. And Facebook is incredibly competitive the same way Google is incredibly competitive. Instagram, at least for businesses, is way less competitive than Facebook. Less competition means faster results. Another thing, engagement is much, much higher on Instagram. We did some Googling, we found out 10 times higher than Facebook. Images get an average of 23% more engagement than their Facebook counterparts, et cetera, et cetera. We found this also, almost 50% of business profiles don't link out to an external website, which, there's only one opportunity on Instagram to add a link, and that's that one link in your profile. So if you're a business and you're not linking to your website, it's a pretty big mistake, about as big as it gets. Yeah. And if 50% of businesses out there aren't doing that, that's a huge. So again, you're just going to want to kind of, so this all kind of ties into number 3, how does Instagram help SEO? More than 80% of Instagram users follow at least one business. And you can see how I'm mentioning my primary demographic a lot, right? Business, business, business. Business. You want to mention who your target demographic is, because it's going to make it so not only does Facebook's algorithm, that dynamic creative piece, it will be able to target your audience more effectively. 31% of people who make more than 75K a year are on Instagram. Reach people with high levels of disposable income. Reach people. And then at some point, at some point, I'm going to mention business in this post. So the reason the first thing to know here is that the primary text is the main piece that gets read by the algorithm, that it uses to place, so if someone out there is, really heavy into Facebook right now and learning about engagement for Instagram, like they just read an article and Facebook's tracking them, this is going to be the variation they're most likely to serve. Someone out there is, reading about profile links or website traffic, this is going to be the piece they're more likely to send. So you really want to test out different messages in the primary text area. And that way you get the best bang for your buck when it comes to using the machine learning of Facebook to target specific audiences effectively. So number 3, how does Instagram help SEO? Number 1, mobile traffic. It's very mobile friendly. And I don't think we ended up using that here in the primary text things, but this was something that I also realized with Alex, and I remember because I do this myself. When I'm making Facebook ads, I usually come up with 10 to 15 different pieces of primary text, because you'll find pretty quickly that certain primary texts don't mix well with others. And a good example of this is, let's see. So here, like if you just look at this variation and you think about it, more than 80% of Instagram users follow at least one business, and 200 million users visit a business profile each day. 90% of time spent on mobile is spent on apps. Your business should take advantage of this. So you're jumping from the amount of people on Instagram that engage with businesses into mobile and then into visual. So you've got that 3-step process. There's too many things, and usually you're going to want to maximum talk about 1 or 2 things, because otherwise you run into these issues. So in reality, I probably want to change that headline. If this headline talked about mobile, it would be more effective because the video talks about mobile. Instagram is a great way to boost your mobile SEO. %90 of time spent on mobile is spent on apps. Your business should take advantage of this. We can help you create, I need to change that, a SEO strategy that means business. So the headlines really should be kind of non-specific. If they're non-specific, then they usually will match up easily with the primary text piece and or the video. And the video, so I am going forward, what you should do is you should kind of create the primary text and the headlines first. That way, when you're making the videos can, make sense from the get-go. Otherwise, you're trying to kind of fit all the pieces together, and it can get kind of messy. So I normally come up with 10 at least pieces of primary text, sometimes as much as 15. I essentially will come up with as many as I can, and then pick my favorites from them and organize them in ways that make sense. So number 3 is, how does Instagram help SEO? The ones that we came up with, it's very mobile friendly. And that's because almost everybody on a mobile phone is using apps. They don't really browse the internet as much, at least not compared to desktop devices. It's got very high engagement levels compared to Facebook. A lot of that is due to the fact that less ads are served to it. I mean, the reason engagement is easier is kind of a loaded subject matter, but it's still a very powerful thing because engagement is central to how Facebook's algorithms work. Number 3, it's very video friendly. And then, number 4 we came up with was that Instagrammers have high disposable income, target, which is always good. So this is, another thing to keep in mind. Sometimes you have a good idea and you can rewrite it in multiple ways. Then one of the main concepts of the primary text that's important to understand is that even though you can fit a lot more text than this in here, I think the limit is something ridiculously high. Let me just copy some text in there. I'm not sure if there is a limit on how much primary text you can add. Nope, it just keeps going. But when it shows up in a Facebook feed, right, it's not going to show you all that text. It's only going to show you the first 2 to 3 lines, and then it's going to do a see more. So the way that you get Facebook ads to really be effective is to understand which pieces get seen by the human being, because it's the human being engaging with your ad that is going to make it get served more often and to target the audience more effectively, because there's only so many ways to get engagement on Facebook. You either get likes, you either get shares, or you get comments. And how often are you doing likes, shares, and comments on ads? Not very often. Most people don't do that. So the only forms of engagement that you really have is getting them to stop scrolling and watching the video. 15 seconds isn't a long time. It should be theoretically pretty easy to get them to watch the whole video. And this is retention, similar to YouTube. Getting them to stop scrolling and watch the video is engagement. Second form of engagement is pressing the see more button. So let me delete all. That's why usually what I do is I create 10 to 15 pieces of text that are just barely longer than the see more part, because that's what's going to give me the opportunity to hook a human being. I'm going to add more text past this point later, but what shows up after this part is nowhere near as important as the first 2 sentences. This is probably the most important part of the entire creating Facebook ads process, aside from making really high quality videos, because videos also are what grabs people's attention. And usually it's the video that gets them to stop scrolling. And then after they're done watching the video, or in the middle of watching the video, they read, the primary text. So
Facebook does keep track of if people watch the video and click see more. Like, that's something that Facebook is aware of.
Oh yeah, I mean they're keeping track of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are definitely very high on. The see more is even more powerful than them stopping to watch the video. But Facebook, unfortunately now, if you have webcams, they're tracking your eyeballs. They're tracking your mouse, and they're just tracking how when you're scrolling. So yeah, let's jump to yours and start a little bit. So we'll go here. I like to really bring up statistics, video marketing statistics, just because one of the main issues that we're kind of struggling with Facebook ads is just a lack of space to make your message clear. So statistics are very powerful for that, right? In one sentence, you can convey a whole lot of information. That might just be me. There's obviously many ways to kind of do Facebook ads, and but I myself bring up statistics all the time. Just my personal preference. So these are two of the top articles that for video marketing statistics, and there's a lot of gold in these two. So we'll start there, and I think it's easier for the learning process of kind of figuring out, you know, how to do this, just to start with with statistics. You can see that, look how there's a ton of ideas here for making ads, really.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put that over here, move to your ad, and I'm going to start to do that 1, 2, 3, 4. So number 1, always business, or not, you know, for the foreseeable future, business. Number 2, why should they care? And that is SEO / traffic to website. And YouTube / video. Number 3, which is how are you going to help, you know, with those issues? Why is video important to businesses? I can go on about that forever, but that's essentially what this. I'll just start with the basics. You know, YouTube ads are the #1 SEO strategy I think anybody should do. Mainly because you can have a lot of impact without a lot of effort. A lot of that ties into Google owning YouTube. YouTube being the 2nd largest website in the world. It goes Google, YouTube, Facebook. You know, that kind of relationship that I was talking about earlier. You know, Facebook owns Instagram. Instagram is a lot less competitive than Facebook, and because of that, Instagram can be a much easier way to build a presence on Facebook than on Facebook directly. And you know, you should probably be doing a mix of the two. But you know, if you had to choose one or the other, which would you pick? The same thing applies to SEO. You should be doing SEO and YouTube, but if you had to pick one or the other and just focus on YouTube, that will build your SEO hugely, and probably faster than if you had just definitely faster than if you just focused on YouTube. Why is that? Because of competition. 100% of your competition is on Google. Probably 100% of your competition is on Facebook. Less than 10% of small businesses are on YouTube. And that's incredible when you compare that with the fact that 81% of businesses use video as a marketing tool. So if you go and look at Fortune 500 companies, 100% of Fortune 500 companies are using video in their marketing strategies. 90%, 90+% of medium-sized businesses are using video in their marketing strategies. And then less than 10% of small businesses are using video in their marketing strategies. That's insane if you think about it. You know, it kind of speaks to how powerful video is. All the big business understands that it's you know, one of the best strategies that you can invest into. Small businesses are just missing out on this huge opportunity, and the fact that there is so little of your small business competition on there makes it even more valuable because you can get results faster. So what I got from all that was Google owns YouTube, right? That's an easy thing for people to understand. Lack of competition. Which equals faster results. You know, very mobile friendly, right? Video is very mobile friendly. It's growing in popularity. That's not really something I would advertise. It's just not my favorite statistic in here. The amount of people doing it today is also not something that really interests me. If you told someone that 100 million people are using YouTube daily, who's going to care? It's more about what is your target audience on there. And that might not always be the case, but that's actually a good thing. This is one of the reasons why YouTube gets neglected is businesses go to YouTube, they look at trending or, and they just Taylor Swift, Young Boy, Game Awards. You don't see any business stuff in here. So business owners come here, they're like, my audience isn't on there. I'm not going to use, I'm not going to bother. Well, that's exactly how all the other businesses are thinking. And that's why there's a lack of competition on it. But that lack of competition is actually is one of the primary reasons why YouTube is so valuable. So going back, YouTube is the most, I think Google owning YouTube is a better one than that. Again, I don't care how many hours of video is watched every day. No business owner cares about. This is a good one. 59% of executives would rather watch a video than read text. You can tell that to any business, and they're going to perk up. Because would you rather reach employees or would you rather reach the decision makers in organizations? You're going to always want to reach the executives, the decision makers. Again, mobile friendly, you can see a trend here. Viewers retain information in videos compared to reading it in text. This is so true. If a picture is worth 1,000 words, then a video is worth 10,000, 100,000 words, depending on how long it is. So again, number 3 is where you kind of just brainstorm your ideas. And then number 4 is the why. People more, why they should care, educate them further on the subject. But we'll get to that in a second, because I don't think number 4 is as relevant for the first step, which is creating these short pieces that are before the see more part. The why they should care and the education piece is usually what falls under the see more section. So we'll just start to do some of these. Let me actually watch your videos and see. I really should have had you guys do the primary text piece first. I'm just going to write down, ideas that come to this. Eye-catching titles.
So this one was like a full-length video, and then I have smaller, like 15-second ones.
Okay. I should probably look at those then. And we might have to redo the videos a little bit just because it's a lot easier to make the videos after you've kind of figured out what your primary text pieces are and what your headlines are going to be.
Yeah, I was just doing them based off of what was in the blog post, so it might not be exactly what.
Yeah, and I think the video really is one of the hardest pieces to do, just because making an effective video in 15 seconds is hard.
Yeah.
So let's skip the video part for right now. Let's just kind of stay focused on the primary text, and then because we're probably going to have to tweak those a little bit. So I'm going to just start with the primary text and pull some of my favorite ideas out of that article. It's a pretty good one. It's growing quickly in popularity. It's future friendly is what that's trying to say. I'll probably end up not using that just because I'm going to find other ones I like more. This one's, I think I like Google owns YouTube. Boom, just straight to the point. Yeah, I don't even have to explain that. People should understand. What am I missing? Oh, I need a video. Okay, so I will download one video, just put it in there. People visualize and process photos in 13 milliseconds, less than 13 milliseconds. Okay, I don't really care about the video right now. I just want to get one in there, so I can see the So that video matches up pretty perfectly with this one. Viewers retain 90% of a message when they watch it in a video, compared to 10% when reading it in text. Oh, so another thing to that will be helpful is to think about, we're going to be making Facebook ads. So anything that's in any content that mentions Facebook, it's probably going to have a higher chance of working, right? Because people are on Facebook when they're seeing these ads. So Facebook is, a pretty good secondary thing to plug. So continue. All right. By 2020, online videos will make up more than 82% of consumer traffic. Just something I do a lot is I will open up a notepad. Oops. Because if you have more than one piece of primary text, this variation thing changes, and it's really frustrating. You can see that I put in a second piece, Google owns YouTube, which is a great platform. You can see it's still only showing me the first one. So once I find, figure out that I like it, I will take that and put it in my notepad. And then move this other one into that first piece, just so I can see what the visualization on the right-hand side. Google owns YouTube, which makes it a great platform to build SEO on. Is one of the, this is, and I should just use, a video marketing statistic in here. Actually, no, I need to. Probably write this better, but just to kind of move forward, you're avoiding quite a bit of competition, meaning you can get results faster. So Google owns YouTube, which makes it a great platform to build SEO on. Less than 10% of small businesses using video. Cut off, see more. That's a pretty good place to cut off, right? It kind of will get them to click see more. So I like that. I'm gonna stick it in my notepad. Go back to this one because I don't think with the we got past the see more, did we? We're very close to it. Any text that we add past this point will, so that's fine. All right. This is one of my favorite statistics. 59% of executives said they would rather So here I can now Google to reach executives through online marketing. Right there. If you want executive note, perfect. So it doesn't get cut off. I read more. I'm gonna change this by going comma if you want an executive notice you, then you need to be mobile ready. Video. Video is inherently mobile friendly. So where's that thing that where people say that they like to watch video instead of read text? Now that's television and read text. Oh, I already have that in there, right? Because the VIX. Okay. Video is mobile friendly. Let's see if I can search for mobile. Actually, I want to go back to that executive thing. That doesn't really explain why executives are on their phone. So I'm kind of jumping between two concepts here. I think one of the reasons why executives like it is maybe because it is mobile friendly, but I'm kind of jumping to a conclusion there. So let's just keep this simple. I'm just gonna stick to that. And kind of drawing a blank on that right now, so I'm gonna move on. 75% of all video plays are on mobile devices. Very, mobile friendly. Actually, I like this one too. Both of them are good, but this one I need to expand on. I don't like saying times because that's just a waste of characters, so I put in an X. More likely to watch video on their mobile phones. Compared to what though? It's kind of an empty statistic. Where's 1.5? And then on a computer, okay. Perfect. Another one, put it in my notepad. Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's terrifying. That's a lot of competition. Okay, so 95%. Let's find that statistic. That's all they're going to give me. I like this one. I mean, I like that one, but you can see I'm struggling with how to kind of follow up with it. So I might just move on for now. This is a great one because we're on Facebook and, you know, if we're making Facebook ads and engagement is so important. So, you know, now I could very easily Google, why is engagement important? They're going to be talking about Facebook almost immediately. Did I say employee? No, I didn't. Okay, I gotta get more specific. Oops. So I'm going to step back and start to organize these a little bit more. You know, what my 4 points were: Google owns YouTube. Lack of small business competition. Mobile friendly. Mobile friendly. Google, parentheses, SEO. I mean, because Google is SEO, owns YouTube. What else do we have here? video is future friendly. So I'm just going to organize these a little bit. Put one to YouTube. Phones. Just competition, I guess. I'm just going to make that more simple. And then this falls in there. Or that's actually a future friendly one. So if you come up with 10 to 15, right, you may have like 3 or 4 mobile friendlies, 3 or 4 future friendly, blah, blah, the rest of them. I would normally target maybe 1 or 2 concepts at a time in one ad, because you only get 5 pieces of primary text. So if you're targeting 2 concepts, one of them is going to get 3 opportunities, one of them is going to get 2 opportunities. So this is one of the reasons why I think it's very important to kind of come up with as many of these primary text pieces that are above the see more piece as possible, because it's going to make organizing them into campaigns a lot easier. So let's just keep going, and I'm just going to try to move as quickly as possible. So 90% to will share it with others. That is a mobile friendly one, right? This is kind of a target demographic one. Prefers video, right? Move that in there. Let's say people prefer to watch video. This is kind of, that's actually target demographic, right? Let's just put that in there. 75% of all plays are mobile devices. All right, I think I've gotten the best ones out of this. Videos social media friendly. Being social media friendly, being mobile friendly, they tie very, very, very close to each other. So I'm going to put dashes in front of my. I haven't put any under competition yet. That's a huge one. They repeated the statistic, but yeah, the golden age of video is going to end probably sooner than later. And that doesn't surprise me at all. This is one of the reasons why Facebook sucks. There's just so much competition on there. So this is a reason why YouTube is so great. Even people that are making video are putting it on Facebook. They're not putting it on YouTube. Why? Because they think their target audience is on Facebook. And yes, that is true, but that's true for everybody. So that's why you have such insane competition. This one ties, where is the competition one? Let me actually grab that. Oh, this one's probably not going to use it because it's going to be hard to turn that around into live, you know. Actually not, maybe not. That actually might be a good one. Just kind of. I don't know what attach means. I might have to rewrite that one. And then just straight up, you can be, you know, video is SEO friendly. Why is that? Because of all of the above, or all the below. Websites, this is one of the oldest statistics with video. It's probably not true anymore. But oh well. Still great pieces. That might actually be more succinct than the one we had. Where is it? Executives. This is true. It definitely is the best ROI. This is a great statistic. This is so true. This is one of the main reasons, like when you put a video on your website, if the average time that people were spending on your website was 1 minute and you put a 1 minute video on there, now your average time is 2 minutes. So, you know, video is definitely helps there hugely. So that goes under is SEO friendly. Where is it? Engagement. So we're social media friendly / engagement. This is a great, this makes for a perfect post. This is one of the reasons why Animoto makes such great social media videos. Normally that hurts you, especially on YouTube, you know, having people read text on the video. That people don't like doing that on YouTube. Thankfully, we get all of our SEO usually on YouTube through YouTube ads, so we don't really care. But it's definitely not ideal. On Facebook, doesn't matter. It works perfectly. This is good. This is just more kind of informative. I don't know where this kind of falls into these categories. Oh, you know, that's another reason why video is good. We can go, people have short attention spans. And video is better than text because of that. 65%. That is true. If it's probably even higher than that. 93% of marketers use video. Yes, that's true. 73%. Yes. Okay, so you can see I already have way more I could do like 3 or 4 campaigns for this. So now we got to start to organize them together in a way that they kind of mix and match as best as possible. So these two no-brainers, being mobile friendly, being social media friendly, they tie together perfectly. So we have 92% in there already. I'm just going to add some more. I think that can kind of fall under the see more part probably better. Videos under 2 minutes long get the same thing. You know, it doesn't really sell why you want to make video. You would more likely want to talk about the engagement aspect of it, like these ones. Perfect. Let's find another mobile friendly one. So the target demographic one, I think, kind of fits in with the social media as well. We can just throw in the executives one. It's probably one of my favorites. You might end up having to swap that one out depending on what you pick for your headers and what you put in for your videos. So you get 5 pieces of primary text, 5 headlines. The headlines really, I don't really even worry about the headlines as much. I would just make sure to put in, you know, a couple. You don't have to reach the 5 mark. It doesn't really help with how your ads are placed. But if you don't put a headline in there, what it does is it pulls the H1 from the page that you put that you're targeting. So you can see there, Seattle YouTube SEO services, video marketing. Not the worst headline, but you can probably improve upon it. So the headlines are really not the thing I worry about. The primary text is the first thing that I think about. Second piece is the video. And then I make sure to kind of make some headlines that fit both those pieces. So, you know, we could go video is mobile friendly in here, right? Video is social media friendly. Video is more engaging than text. And I'm just moving through the headline. I would probably put a little more thought into, but for right now, I'm just going to move on. So, what is our? Wow, did we go through an hour already? Okay. What's your time look like?
I could say for another like 15 minutes.
Okay, yeah. Let's just. Do you have any questions from what you've seen so far?
Not from what I've seen so far, no. Is there anything specific that you're hoping that I'll go in there and do on my own?
Yeah. Let's switch screens to your end, and then I'm going to get into your ad account and go ahead. The homework that I gave Alex was that I would like him to gosh, what was the homework? Okay, yeah. With what we have here, and I'll send you all these pieces of text. Make a second campaign that, you know, and with whatever pieces out of here that you want to. And then, which is basically just, you know, grouping them up into pick 5 of these that you like that make sense together, that kind of tie in, you know, that can be mixed and matched and have similarities. And then create 5 videos for those. So the idea is that you'll create 5 videos, or just tweak the existing ones that you have, to fit these primary pieces of text better. And then let me know when you're done with that, and I'll go make 5 videos as well. And in our next meeting, we'll compare our videos to each other's. And then you're going to want to make a second campaign where you, I guess, so for Alex, Instagram was a harder one for me to we didn't have as many things here. Like you can see, just from that one article, I liked pretty much everything I saw. With Instagram, I'm not a big Instagram fan. I'm also not a big social media fan. So I was very much more selective with the options there. But the general homework for the next meeting is to have some videos that we can compare to each other's and discuss further. And then for you to have your own campaign with the primary text and headlines figured out. And same thing, we'll go over that together.
Okay, sounds good.
But I think let's just stick with the video one. I'm having Alex work on YouTube ads, because when it comes to YouTube and video, YouTube ads are my bread and butter. If there's one thing I recommend businesses do, it's YouTube ads. If they're not doing them now, they're really missing out on a huge opportunity. It's kind of the follow-up concept to why video is so SEO friendly. YouTube ads is a big piece of that. So I think, yeah. So I think we have so many ideas here that just make a second campaign with whichever of these ideas resonate with you.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and send these to you. His homework was YouTube ads campaign and plus 5 videos for Instagram. So this is primary text headlines. And the same thing. Let's just come up with 5 videos for this existing campaign. And let me send those ideas to you. So just video / SEO campaign. And then 5 videos for second video / SEO campaign. Okay, so let's stop. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Go ahead and share yours, and I'll get you all set up on your end. Requesting remote control. And something I didn't tell Alex, because we ran over with him as well, is something I would start to do is when you see good ads on Facebook, bookmark it. Because you probably watch thousands of them, and only a couple of them will ever resonate with you. And seeing why they resonated with you, why they worked, can help you to kind of reverse engineer it for your own purposes. I have learned more through that than anything. Anytime a Facebook ad hits me that I end up buying something, I bookmark that. And then I really think about why it works so well. And 90% of the time, it's because the video is great, which is somewhat limited in our, what we can do, because Animoto, at the end of the day, is not a full-blown video program. But for Facebook ads, it serves its purpose pretty well. It's just not, when you see a really good Facebook ad, I can almost guarantee you that the reason it works is because that video is really good. It's not usually the text or anything else. So what is going on here? Ads manager. Okay, so you're in your personal ad campaign right now. And just go ahead and create ad. So we will go traffic. You want to drive on this part? Go ahead and hit continue. And then remember on this second step, so you see at the top where it says new campaign, ad set ad. Click on ad set. And then in here, the parts that you need to do is dynamic creative. Go down and change that daily budget. Make it $1 a day. Otherwise, you will not be happy with the results. Scroll down and hit where it says detail targeting. So detail it goes locations, age, genders, detail targeting.
Yes, okay. I realized I was muted, which I didn't know before.
Okay. So let's see, why isn't it letting you? Okay, so you hover over it and then you'll get that edit button.
Okay.
So detail targeting expansion is the thing that has to be clicked. That's the second piece of the machine learning that you want, where the ad just keeps getting smarter over time. So click out of that to get rid of that, and then that little checkbox right there. Yep. And then in your, the audience building is something that you're usually going to revisit after you've made the ad, because you're going to come, once you've figured out how you want to group your primary text pieces, it really will lead into the audience building. But, you can just, for YouTube, start with YouTube, right? Because that's what we're talking about. And then throw in suggestions. So we'll go Google, online advertising. And then we'll throw in business, small business. Let's get this even more specific. And then you can hit suggestions, and you can just keep adding as you feel fit, but we'll just move on right now. That the important parts is detail targeting expansion and dynamic creative. That's what makes the ads just really good without any extra effort on your end. Once you set it up and you forget it, it just keeps getting better. So, okay. Then in here, we're going to put your website URL. I'll just copy and paste it for you. And we'll go from there. Let me send over to you the text. Okay, let me just, I'm going to add the text that we came up with together in this call. So on this one, add more text into these pieces. Just kind of play around with it a little bit. And then we'll do this, like I'm going to do the same thing on my end. I will fill out the primary text pieces so that, with the content that comes after the see more, we'll pair that together next week, and then come up with a secondary campaign where you figure, you pick your own pieces of primary text. And then for this one though, make the videos. Make 5 videos. I'll make 5 videos and we'll compare them together.
Okay.
The headlines I'll let you do, just because when I was making the headlines, I really put very little thought into them. I mean, I'll put them in there, but just keep in mind, these are, I put no effort into these. And then just put a video in there just so it saves this, because otherwise I think it's going to just bother you. Okay. Let's see if I can go back now. Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna put a video in the, oh, all right, okay, good. It left. So I'll just leave it here because I think you can take it from here. I will send you over all the text I have that we came up with in Skype right now. Okay, well, I think we can call it now. Do you have any final questions?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay,
Thank you for showing me all this.
you're welcome. So next time we'll kind of compare each other's campaigns together, and then I'll teach you the next piece, which is really about retargeting and creating custom audiences. You can use Facebook's own audience building. That's what we were doing here. But where it gets really, really, like social dilemma type stuff is where you're using the pixel information, your people that visit your website, and then you retarget them on Facebook, or people visit your Facebook page and you retarget them, that's like the second layer of Facebook ads, where this is the most powerful layer in my opinion, because it's very quick, relatively quick, and once you set it up, you can forget about it, and it just keeps getting better. The second piece, audience building, is time consuming. It requires your website to have SEO and or your Facebook page. So there's, it's kind of something that happens once you've established a certain level of visibility. So it's not always available, but it's definitely where a lot of crazy stuff can be done. All right, I just sent it to you, and I'll let you get going.
Okay. Well, have a good weekend.
You too.
And I will talk to you next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.